This courtroom moment stopped the country. EFF leader Julius Malema stood outside the East London Magistrate Court during one of South Africa's most watched political legal battles. Convicted in October on firearm-related charges, his January 2026 pre-sentencing hearing drew thousands of supporters and a fiery defiant address that many believe led the judge to delay sentencing until April. Tensions were high, the stakes even higher. Watch the full moment as Malema takes on his critics and speaks directly to his supporters in a courtroom charged with emotion and political drama. Don't miss
I'm
it.
standing here to boost a weak, failed case of the state that I've endangered people's life. Where in the video and the evidence of the state do you see any form of evidence that the life of people were endangered? Is it because they are black people? They are bastardized? They are so animal so much that when you shoot, they will not run away.
Please let us not go in that direction and focus on answering the questions posed by Advocate Odex.
On which direction I'm answering? That's my answer. I'm not going to be told on how to answer. I've sat here for 5 years, listened to people critique and assassinate my character. It is my turn now, and the court has got a duty to listen to me. I've listened to everybody. It is my turn now to tell the side of my story, and I plead with the court to be patient. I might be irritating, I might not be liked, but the truth remains the truth, and I will never hide away from it. If the life was in danger, and the life of human beings was in danger, they were going to go for a cover. But because they are black, they are so bastardized. You don't care about their reaction because anyway, even if it's a life ammunition, they will never go for a cover because they are animals. That's an insinuation that I've been here listening to for the past 5 years.
The witness, may you state your full names and surname for the record, please?
Julius Malema.
Do you have any objection in taking the prescribed oath?
No.
Do you then swear that the evidence you are about to take will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God?
So help me God.
Thank you.
Now, you've explained to the court that you are proficient in shooting. Can you think of any possible explanation for how a cartridge was found in excess of 20 meters away from where you allegedly shot?
I can only answer for what I've given to my Lord to check and test. Those things of cartridges and rifles and it's not part of my business. You are not going to find a gun in another man's house and come and ask me. Asking me about the gun you found in another man's house. I'm not going to answer that. No one is going to ask me questions about something that was never found on me, about something that was never demonstrated any form of evidence before this worship as evidence against me. I've told this court, and this court in its judgment of 174 said, you can't say it's a mere toy and I take it as a mere toy without any form of evidence of a mere toy. I thought the honors were on the state because they are the ones who are alleging to prove that this is the real gun that this guy used and demonstrate why. But I'm here. The court said you can't say it's a mere toy and I accept it. Your worship, you said you can't take a weight of a mere toy. I borrowed the real stuff, not a rumor, real stuff. No, the real toy.
Anything else that you want to tell this court?
Well, I don't know, Your Worship, why is accused 2 not released on 174. I don't know why accused 2 is actually with me. Let me tell Your Worship what he doesn't know. Accused number 2 and Larry Mabunda were working for the same company. So if you say you're charging accused number 2 on the basis that he possibly somehow handed over the gun to me, you didn't have to speculate anything. The most suspicious suspect is Larry Mabunda on that video, who the gun was issued out in his name. And the gun that was issued out in his name is the gun in question now. So, meaning on that day, that gun was with Larry Mabunda. If it was not with him, Larry Mabunda ought to tell the court, where was that gun? Why was Larry Mabunda not charged? And an innocent man gets charged. I don't understand. And no one has ever said, accused number 2 has handed over the gun to me. If there was one witness who, when the video was now played, said, oh, I realized I was wrong to say he handed it over to me. Accused number 2 and accused number 0, Lerimabunda, they are with me. In that picture is both of them coming to me. Why is it conclusive that the white man on the picture is the one who's charged? It's for obvious reason. It's a white man who's going to turn state witness against him. That was the intention. Little did they know that he's not a white man, it's not a black man, it's a South African who stand by the truth. They wanted him to sell me out. That's why they charged him, and they couldn't charge the one of the same skin with me, because they will use their skin to connive against the truth. Put a white man with him, the white man will sell him out. Little did they know that it's a soldier who dies with his boots on. So there's nothing wrong that this accused number 2 did in all respect. If anything, the police should have questioned the police that they have deployed, both in uniform and in VIP protection. No police officer was there, came here and said there was such an incident. After that, my lord, after this incident, when the masses left, you see where the tent was. It's not food. That tent is not a food tent. It's a VIP area. So when everybody left, we then retreated into that marquee. We stayed there and left around 2 a.m. That's how much there was no trouble. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm just summarizing the last part of what you said, just a minute.
Did you shoot with a live round in a proper firearm on that day?
I've never used any firearm. I've never had any ammunition on that day.
So never, you mean specifically to 28 July 2018?
Yes, on the day in question.
Were you ever in possession of a...
I just want to make sure I understand your client's evidence. Did you say you never used any type of firearm on that day?
Never used which type? I said I've never used. So I've never used a gun. So a gun to me means a weapon that carries live ammunition. So any other thing else is not a gun. I've never used a gun that carries a live ammunition. So if I say a gun, I mean a gun. And there is a difference between a gun and a toy. I've never carried a gun on that day, and ammunition.
Where the state says that you had in your possession a .223 Norinco rifle, did you have such a real rifle in your possession?
I don't understand why the court wants me to help the state make its own case, because no state case has been made here that demonstrate that I carried that kind of weapon you are talking about. My DNA is not found on that weapon. My house was never searched. My workplace was never searched looking for that weapon. I was never questioned about that weapon. When I was sitting here, I heard that they went to find a weapon in someone's premises very far. I don't even know that address. Very far from where I stay. I must come before this court and answer for weapons that cannot be brought anywhere close to my skin or to me. No witness has ever led any evidence that I carried or discharged that kind of weapon. Remember, of all the witnesses that came here, Your Worship, I'm the only eyewitness you have. No one else was there. It's only me. Of all the people who appeared before you, it's only me who is an eyewitness before this court. There's never been. The rest were talking about seen on cell phone, seen on this, seen on. I was there, and I don't remember carrying that.
Do you have any firearm that could shoot live rounds in your possession at the stadium on 28 July 2018?
I did not have any firearm that could shoot live ammunition on the day in question. And no one else can say I had. Not at least those who came before Your Worship.
Did you discharge any such firearm in a built-up or public area?
I've not done so. And when you play the video at some point, I will actually show Your Worship that a police officer from the VIP protection is actually on that stage with me. It's a officer of the court. If I had discharged anything that has got live ammunition in public in the presence of police officer, ordinarily they would have acted on me. But equally, police officers, Your Worship, especially the VIP protection, they carry with them what is called a pocket book. Why didn't the investigating officer, objective investigating officer, not go and fetch the pocket book of the police? That pocket book, they record everything It doesn't matter how small that detail can be. You'll find it in the pocketbook of the VIP protector. But equally, no one can come here like I almost heard the prosecutor or someone say, but it looks like they were saying they were in the car. They were not with you. If they are in a car, they are car guards. They are not bodyguards. Close protectors have to be where the principal is. And I demonstrated, I took it to the extreme, that even in a bathroom, you can't enter before they enter, and once you enter, they stand by the door. That's how close they are.
You say they were in the car with you?
No, they were in the car with me when we were coming to the stadium.
That's what I'm
Yes, when I went on stage, they were with me on the stage.
Yes. I was unclear because you said they're now car guards. I wasn't sure if they were in the car, same.
Yes.
Yes, so I needed to be clarified. For
I'm trying to differentiate, Your Worship, that if they are in the car and there's no principal, they are not bodyguards, they are car guards. They are cutting the car.
2 were with you coming from 2.
2 was with me from Pretoria and 2 from here in the Eastern Cape. I had 4 on that day. 4 police officers with me. Everywhere I went, they were next to my body. And ordinarily on such occasions, the president of the organization becomes a high security risk. You can't leave him and go and sleep in the car like it was alleged at some point.
Did you fail to take such reasonable precautions or have such a firearm in your possession on 28 July 2018 at the stadium?
That stage where it is alleged I was shooting live ammunition from, it is called the dome. It has got a sail, plastic covering it. And if you shoot from that stage with a gun that is pointing up, it is bound to damage that particular stage. The people of the stage came here, told you and this court that the inspection was done by the police. They did the inspection themselves on their stage and all of their properties. None of the properties were damaged, which is a clear demonstration that no live ammunition was shot from that podium. Equally, I've not endangered any life, and I did not have to take any precautionary measures to save life because I was never in such a position where I can damage life. Where real life ammunition gets fired, human beings, even without looking at where the sound comes from, they go for a cover. Again, I'm standing here to boost a weak, failed case of the state that I've endangered people's life. Where in the video and the evidence of the state do you see any form of evidence that the life of people were endangered? Is it because they are black people? They are bastardized? They are so animal so much that when you shoot, they will not run away.
Please let us not go in that direction and focus on answering the questions posed by Advocate Audits.
On which direction I'm answering? That's my answer. I'm not going to be told on how to answer. I've sat here for 5 years, listened to people critique and assassinate my character. It is my turn now, and the court has got a duty to listen to me. I've listened to everybody. It is my turn now to tell the side of my story, and I plead with the court to be patient. I might be irritating, I might not be liked, but the truth remains the truth, and I will never hide away from it. If the life was in danger, and the life of human beings was in danger, they were going to go for a cover. But because they are black, they are so bastardized. You don't care about their reaction because anyway, even if it's a live ammunition, they will never go for a cover because they are animals. That's an insinuation that I've been here listening to for the past 5 years.
Did you ever endanger any of those class of persons' lives or property?
These people, if their lives were endangered, you mentioned the Mudanzane people. I'm endangering the lives of Mudanzane people. Someone was saying, no, because they are all EFF there, maybe they are unable to come forward. They say I've endangered the life of Mudanzane people. Who of Mudanzane people came before this court and said I've endangered their life? Who of the Gear House people, they're not EFF members, who of the Gear House people came before this court, which rejected 174 and said he endangered our life? Who of the service providers of the EFF, who are not members of the EFF, came before this court and said endangered our lives? Who of the journalists who were there, enjoying themselves dancing, came forward here and said, you have endangered our lives? No single person came forward to say I've endangered their lives. So, Your Worship, which case am I answering here? Which is made by who against me that I've endangered their lives? What are they? Are they all of those people scared of the EFF? It's practically impossible. Again, I've been invited into this box to boost a weak case of the state. How do you go and sit, Your Worship, and watch a video, the same way you watch Muvango, and you say people are intimidated on a video, then Muvango must be very scary for you. Yeah, but I want to explain to your worship. If you're to shoot a live ammunition on the stage where a jog is sitting directly opposite you, live ammunition, there is no way jog won't pick it up. Its duty is to pick up such things. Jog would have picked up that and then come for whoever has discharged a firearm inside the stadium. Because remember, they are anticipating that a political rivalry, a political opponent, whoever doesn't agree with the EFF might go and cause trouble there. And once they hear that, they're like, okay, it looks like it's happening. That's why police are there, to make sure no one commits crime on the scene. And then when you look at the video, your worship, look at the reaction of people. I come from the township where crime is very high. When there is a shooting of a gun, we never ask who shot the gun and where it came from. We all go for cover. You go down. Without, whether it's real or not, once it is not warned that a gun is good. That's why even today in the inauguration of the president, they had to tell the audience there's going to be 21 gun salute. Why? So people are not scared. So imagine if you shoot a gun, no one has been told a gun is being shot. There are people on the stage, no one goes for cover. There are people in front of the stage, no one goes for cover. There are people who are live streaming the event, say it never even occurred to us that there was such an activity. How on earth do people, all of them were there, not a single one of them, your worship says, at some point I felt like there was something, but I was not sure. No one says that. But I must still come and answer a question that was, a case on behalf of the state, which the state failed to build. I feel like I'm guilty, and what I'm doing now is to prove my innocence. And if that is the approach, it's against the spirit and the letter of our constitution. I hope we're not there. So here, your worship, there are two people. It's the white guy in front and a black guy at the back. The name of a black guy at the back, his name is Rimabun. When I was sitting here listening to this case, they said the firearm in question was issued to him by his company. So if that firearm was used here, the person in the papers who is in possession of the firearm in question is Lermabunda. Why is Lermabunda not charged? Why is Lermabunda not called before this court to come and account? So why is the firearm issued in your name, find itself in East London, and there are some cartridges and all of that? I'm being called here to come and answer for a gun that is not issued anywhere in my name. That has not been found in my properties. That hasn't been found in my car. That hasn't been found on my body. A person whose name in the papers of the law, as required by the law, that before a company issues out a firearm, it has to be registered in someone's ex name. When that firearm cartridge is found there, and then that firearm tests positive, the first suspect is supposed to be Lermabunda. But here, I'm with this gentleman here. I don't know what he's doing here. When the man at the back is the one. Even after the shooting, the women are still dancing. I guess there is some people's lives are in danger. After the so-called shooting, the women are still dancing. So this is a behavioral pattern of a person whose life is being in danger. Let's proceed. Stop. Go back a bit. A little bit. Yeah. Your worship, this is Darling Poof. He's the senior counsel, the lawyer, who is also on the stage where a crime is being committed. Because we're told the real firearm is being shot here and endangering the lives of the people. I'm endangering the life of a senior counsel. And then the senior counsel, because his EFF is scared to report Malema, that Malema endangered my life. I'm just demonstrating to you that it was not just ordinary people. Even a senior counsel is there. His police is now moved to a senior counsel. How would a life of a senior counsel be endangered, knowing the law as he knows it? He doesn't take action about it.
Mr. Malema, you've watched the video. You've given an estimation of the amount of people there. Did any one of those people come forward to testify against you that they felt endangered?
No one.
Did anybody in the video react consistent with being scared of anything?
If anything, people are celebrating. Because, of course, it was a day of celebration.
Can you then explain to the court what was actually viewed there? When the court saw you with what looked like a firearm on the stage?
It was a toy, my worship. We, in the EFF, from time to time when we celebrate the anniversary of the EFF, they are acts that we put as part of the program to celebrate the anniversary of the EFF. If you look at us in all the songs, we make gestures of a firearm when we sing songs. And that day, we said, as part of the act, we need to bring the cinema toy to demonstrate the shooting as part of the celebration. If your worship pays attention, in the 10th anniversary of the EFF, in FNB Stadium, there was another act. That act was the stage going up. That's an act. So it's part. So every anniversary has got different kind of features to excite and to make it nicer for the people who are in attendance.
Now, in the video one, you
Yeah.
appear to have what looks like a handgun in your hand. Is that a real handgun, real handgun, or was it a similar toy gun?
Well, it's not a real handgun because even here there is no any handgun that was brought to this court. So there is in no way I can answer on something that is not even before this court, where they allege that a real handgun. Handgun, you mean pistol? I don't know what's a handgun. All I know is pistol and rifle. Yes. So they were all there.
Now, that handgun, not a big one, the toy rifle, do you have it here?
Yes, I've got it.
Can you show it to the court?
Can I show it to your worship? Absolutely. And the idea is to create an impression of a real gun so that it doesn't come out in a very clumsy way. Your worship, they do this in all the movies. When you watch a movie, you feel like it's a real gun. Does it make it a real gun because it sounds like a real gun? It can't be correct. By just looking at it here, especially your worship, if we had not been taken through the education that we've been taken through by the other ballistic witness, by looking at it ordinarily, we would have just concluded that it is a firearm and there's no way a toy gun can look like that. Because once we say a toy gun, what comes into our mind is those ones that we buy for our kids which use water.
Were you ever taken for powder residue tests on your hands, clothing, or body?
Colonel Swarboy has never spoken to me. I can't even point you who's Colonel Swarboy. No one has ever come to me. If there is a person who came to me, your worship, it's a person called Gavenda or something, yeah. And then we met at the Hawks or something. We met in Pretoria with Gavenda. Gavenda is the one who told me there was this story and all of that. Do you want to take a statement? I said, make a statement. I said, no. And then that was the end of it. No powder was tested on me. No premises of mine were searched. No one has ever said to me, we want to question you. Your worship, is there on record in the papers that I've got a firearm. So if they say Malema shot a firearm, the first immediate thing, if you're dealing with an honest, objective process, would have been Malema's personal firearm must be handed over for testing. Because we know it's not disputed. We know for a fact that he's got a firearm. What if he shot his own firearm there? So his firearm, when you deal with a person who discharged a firearm in public and he's got a licensed firearm, the first thing you do is to take his firearm and go and do ballistics on it, because that alone is sufficient to say this is the one that was discharged. What makes matters worse, your worship, they said there was a pistol there, and my license tells them he's got a pistol. What if that pistol of mine is the one that was discharged there? For 5 years I'm standing before you now. It has never been taken for a test. My pistol that is there, recorded lawfully. They say you are carrying a pistol, which they never brought to you. You're not even a toy. And they know I've got a pistol. They never say hand over your pistol so that we can test it if it's not the one that was discharged at Sisa Dugashe Stadium.
Now, you've said that nobody cowered or ran away or felt threatened. I need to ask you, so are you aware of any damage caused by any projectile from any of these alleged shots either from the handgun and or the rifle?
No damage at all. I mean, the gear house people came here, and the majority of that property which was there is from gear house. I remember my worship asking them if them taking a stand here will not compromise their business. They answered no, and I'm happy to report to the worship that they took a stand here. We're just from an election now. They provided the stage and sound to our last rally in Polokwane. And they did the same at the FNB Stadium, even after testifying here. Why? They never lied about anything. They told the truth as they know it. And we have no reason why we should fight with people who go and seek to help the court to arrive at a proper conclusion.
Accused number 2 hand you a firearm
Nothing.
on the stage on the night in question.
Did not hand over a firearm to me on the stage or at any time anywhere.
Thank you.
All right, accused 1 and 2 then. The matter at this stage is postponed until tomorrow, being the 20th of June, for us to start at 9 a.m. Bail extended. Thank you. Thank you. Please take